Welcome back to my channel, lovely. So we'll be making jollof rice and beans, and I've got in here 1 cup of brown beans. You can use black eye beans or any beans of your choice. So at this point I'm going to pour it inside my bowl, and I'm going to take my time to wash it properly. So now that the washing process has been completed, I'm just going to transfer the brown beans inside my cooking pot. Brown beans tends to be more tougher than black eye beans or frozen beans. So when I'm done transferring them, I'm going to add 2 cups of water. I will cover the lid and let the beans cook for at least 95%. So now that the brown beans is cooking, let's take some moments to cut or prep our fish. I'm using mackerel fish, obviously. As you can see, you can use dry fish or any fish of your choice, but because I love the taste, the flavor, the aroma of mackerel fish, Team Mackerel Fish gather for Instagram selfie. I'm going to cut them to my desired sizes. Feel free to cut yours how you want them to be inside your recipe. And at this point I'm done cutting them. I'm just going to transfer them inside my bowl. I will take my time to wash them because mackerel fish comes with a lot of blood, and while you are washing it, remember to take out the intestines as well. So I'll wash this fish until the water runs clear. So at this point the mackerel fish are all cleaned and well prepped, as you can see, and I have in here my red onions, carrots, green bell peppers, and the 2 large fresh tomatoes. I'm just going to wash them as always. Please don't be in a haste of using your fruits or your vegetables whenever you go to the store to purchase them, because those fruits and vegetables has actually gone a long way before you went to the store to get it. So because I don't like the way the carrot was looking, that was why I have to scrape it out. But if yours look good, please do not scrape it, okay? So at this point the fruits or the vegetables are all properly washed. I'm just going to take my time to cut them. I'm using my slicer. You can use your knife if you don't have a slicer, okay? So this is the best part or the best hangs about this vegetable slicer. It gives you a perfect size, uniform shape of any vegetable that you want to slice. So at this point I'm done cutting or slicing the onions. As you can see, they all came out the same sizes or the same size. It looks like ring, right? I so much love it. Please, this video is not sponsored, neither am I trying to make a review about the slicer. This is just my honest truth. If you like the slicer, go for it, it saves time. And here comes the onions. So at this point I'm going to start by boiling the proteins, our washed mackerel fish, and my goat meat. So I'm going to add the onions. So this is the stock I got from cooking my previous recipe. I added it inside the pot. I'm going to add extra water to it. So because of the water I added, I'm going to sprinkle just a little bit of chicken bouillon powder. I'm going to stir it. When I'm done, I'm going to cover it and allow the proteins to cook. So now that the proteins or the meat are cooking, let's take some moments to prep or cut the rest of the vegetables. Here comes my green bell peppers. I'm going to cut them into smaller pieces because of my kids. And over here is the carrot. I'm going to cut them into bigger chunks first. Make sure you cut yours how you want them to be inside your recipe. And at this point I'm going to use my vegetable dicer to cut or dice the carrot into smaller pieces as well. If you are using this vegetable cutter or vegetable dicer, how you place the carrot or the vegetable depends on how the shape of the vegetable or the carrot will be. As you can see, one seems to be longer and the other one seems to be shorter. And here comes the final result of the diced carrot. So while I was making this recipe, I discovered that I have one plantain inside my fridge. So I was like, why not? Let me just make use of it. So I'm just going to cut the plantains to my desired sizes. So I'm just going to open up my tomato paste. Please, all the detailed ingredients for this jollof rice and beans will be found on my description box below. So at this point the brown beans is cooked but not fully cooked like I said. I'm just going to drain out the water because those water can cause bloating a lot. I'm going to wash it until the water runs clear. So at this point I'm done washing or raising off the brown beans. Over here I'm just trying to like illustrate or explain to you how the beans feels. It's not properly cooked, so I'm just going to set the brown beans aside. And I have my rice here. I'm using regular rice. Full measurement and full ingredient to be found on the description area. You can use basmati rice, jasmine rice to make this recipe as well. So I'm going to add hot water inside the rice. I will stir it together and allow the rice to sit inside the hot water for 2 minutes or thereabout. So now that the rice is resting inside that hot water, I'm just going to add reasonable amount of peanut oil inside my pot. And at this point the oil is well heated. I went ahead and added the cut plantains. I'm going to fry the plantain until I am satisfied, and at this point the plantains are well fried to my satisfaction. I'm going to take them out from the oil, place them on a parchment paper to take out excess oil. So after frying the plantains, I went ahead and reduced the oil that was in the pot because the oil will be too much for me to fry the tomato paste. So I went ahead and added the onions. At this point I'm going to add onion powder, garlic powder, and I will sprinkle some grounded crayfish, also known as dry prawn. I'm going to fry it for 3 minutes. So 3 minutes later, I'm going to introduce in the tomato paste. I'm using 2.5 tablespoons of the tomato paste, and here is the remaining one. I'm just going to store or keep it for later use. I will fry this tomato paste until oil settles on it or until I get rid of the tangy taste of tomato paste. Because I don't like too much oil in my recipe, I think I've said that over and over again, I will not be adding oil to this, but trust me, when the tomato paste fries, you will definitely see oil on it, and this is how it is looking at the moment. So I'm going to fry it one more time because at this point I'm not satisfied with it. So a few moments later, I'm satisfied. I went ahead and added the fresh cut tomatoes. I'm going to fry it for like 2 minutes or thereabout. And at this point they are well fried, I'm just going to scoop out excess of the tomato or excess of the sauce. Because I don't like too much sauce inside my jollof rice, that is why I'm doing that. And here comes the excess oil that I scoop out as well. I'm going to keep the oil for later use. And at this point I'm going to introduce in the rice. I washed the rice off camera. I'm going to add in the brown beans that are also washed. At this point it is time for me to introduce in the remaining crayfish, also known as dry prawn. I'm going to add in the cooked goat meat. I'm just going to mix it thoroughly, making sure the sauce or the tomatoes are well coated with the rice and the rice well coated with the tomatoes or with the sauce. So after much stirring, I went ahead and added the meat stock that I got from cooking the proteins. I added some water because the stock won't be enough to cook the rice. So I'm going to mix it properly. When I'm done mixing it, I'm going to test if I need any seasoning. So when I tasted it, I needed to add some seasoning. I went ahead and added extra tomato bouillon powder. I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of salt. When I'm done, I'm going to stir it gently. I will cover the lid and allow the rice to cook. Please do not add excess water or else your rice will become too soggy or too mushy. And at this point the rice is well cooked and my kitchen smells so amazing. I added the diced carrot and the green bell peppers. If you check yours and you feel that the rice or the beans are not well cooked, just add a little bit of water, okay? So at this point I'm going to add the mackerel fish. I will cover it and allow the rice to simmer on a very low heat. Alright lovelies, here comes the final result of our finger licking jollof rice and beans. This mackerel fish actually boosted the recipe. If you have made it to this point, thank you so much for watching. And as for the plantains, my kids actually devoured them behind camera. If you try out this recipe for your family, let me know at the comment section. Do not forget to give me a thumbs up. I will see you all on my next video. Bye lovelies.